What's up, everyone? Have we got something cool to talk about? And, this, I am not an expert at Shirogorov, okay? But I know a lot more today than I knew a few hours ago before talking with Alex. I think we were on the phone for about an hour as he explained so much about Shirogorov that I'm not going to be able to do the conversation justice. But what I will tell you is this particular one really does blur the lines between production and custom knives. This is a production knife. This is the F95, which is a flipper. And as you can see on the certificate of authenticity, here's a bunch of the information. It's got 3 bears down on the bottom. That's their logo, the 3 bears. And those of you that are Shirogorov experts probably know what that means. I had no clue until Alex explained to me that basically there's different levels of Shirogorovs. You got your base model, which is a 1 bear. You have kind of an upgraded, which is the 2 bear. And then you've got an even more upgraded 3 bear. And then I think it went into collaborations and then custom. Like they've got even more levels above the 3 bear. And some can go up in the $10,000 to $15,000 range into their true customs and stuff. I truly didn't know much about them. I've had one other one on the channel, I believe, and my brother I know has owned several, and I think he still has one. I'm going to talk to him tomorrow about that. I'd just double check what he's got. But I was really intrigued and kind of interested in the story that Alex kind of gave me. And that's Alex from Alex's Knife Box. There'll be a link to his channel down below. Fantastic friend of mine. As I've mentioned before, we share knives back and forth a lot. And this is kind of number 2 in my Russian knife series from him, if you will. So let's just zoom in on this thing because, I don't need to go through all the specs. I'll go through some of them, but this is a Monkey Edge exclusive. They always do that. Monkey Edge does with a lot of all their makers. They get this frag pattern, which is kind of unique to them. And it came in bronze and blue. This is obviously the bronze version. But there's a lot of cool things about this knife. And it's a production knife. Now, it's a high-end production, but it's still a production. Awesome stonewashing on the blade. That plunge grind is just crazy cool. M390. Inside, let me grab my light. They do some really nice milling to lighten it up. And that's part of the 3 bears thing. The 3 bear gets the internal milling. And it's just done artfully, if you will. It's not just a pocket milled out just to lighten it. They took the time to make it look good. And it kind of has that wavy pattern for structural rigidity. Can also see on the inside, if I can show it here. Maybe it's up on the top. On this side, maybe? Yeah, right here. The MRBS, multi-row bearing system. It has an upgraded spacer. These are all factors that play into the 3 bear. is the multi-row bearing. I mean, crazy drop shut. Like, not going to chop your finger off. It's a controlled drop shut, if that makes sense. One little tiny shake. So I'm going to put it right past the detent. Lift it up. One little shake just to get it rolling. I mean, it's just crazy smooth. Crazy feel in the hand. Again, I'm not super familiar with these, but F95 is one of their, kind of premier shapes and models. I believe this particular one is discontinued. I think it's I think the F95 itself is discontinued, and they've got a new model, F95 something. But man, this is cool. It does have a steel lock bar insert, titanium frame lock, M390, nice lanyard hole in the back. I like the way they do that, where there's a hole, but it's not like a big loop sticking out the back, because I don't do a lanyard, so I like to not have it look like there's a lanyard hole. It is custom pivots, and if you look at them, it's not a flathead. It's rounded. Like, it's unique. And there is a special tool for that, for all the hardware, that Alex does not have because it's expensive and he's never needed to take it apart yet. He's owned this for 4-ish years and it's still sharp. The heat treat that Shiro gets done is incredible. He stropped it a couple of times, but it's still sharp after 4 years of use. Now, this is not a hard use knife. It could be. I mean, he does use this though. But for light duty, boxes, everyday carry, normal use. I have to do a video probably on what is a hard use knife. What do we constitute hard use? I'm not really sure I have an answer for that. But let's compare this to, where it kind of blurs the lines for me is just in the fit and finish and the action. And I just, this to me falls into more of that custom range. But they're mass produced and they make a ton and it's a production and they have ones that are higher level than this. But if we compare this with, kind of a true custom, which is much bigger, it absolutely is a bigger size. But the action is very similar. The attention to detail, the fit and finish. This is a true custom by TJ Fisher, the King Kamehameha, and I've done a video on this. But the backspacer, and just that floating backspacer, the two-tone, I mean, just incredible handwork. Got his name on the inside. Like all of the things that you would think of from a custom maker, Shiro is doing on theirs. Get this past the detent. One little shake and it's down. Granted, this is a much heavier blade, but this is also running on ceramic bearings and has amazing fit and finish. Handmade by one guy, one at a time. Same thing, same type of quality and fitment and finish and feel in the hand here at a little bit of a reduced cost. And then we can pull out the Holt Spectre, which is very similar also to the Shirogorov. You know, a little smaller, but very similar in profile and plunge line. I mean, very, very similar. This has nice milling on the inside too. This one's a liner lock, not a frame lock. But again, super great fit and finish. And this, I believe, if you will, I don't know what they call these. I don't think they call these a custom or a production or a mid-tech or whatever names you want to put on it. I would say, because these are made by two people, a husband and wife, in their garage, so to speak, I would call this more of a custom knife, if you asked me. I could be wrong, but it's very on par with this production Shirogorov. So where is that line between production and custom? I don't know. It's a blurred line for sure. But let me give you a couple of quick specs on this. It's 5 inches closed, 8 3/4 overall, 3.8 inch blade, 0.156 blade thickness, 0.483 overall thickness, minus the clip, of course, and at only 4.7 ounces. This legit could be your EDC. And these are not unreasonably priced. If you could find one, this one, it was about $1,000, $1,100, I think is what Alex told me. Now these ones are, discontinued, but the newer models, I'm sure, are relatively similar pricing. The Spectres are a discontinued model. The secondary market is stupid crazy. But table price was $800. So you're very comparable here for what I call a custom, what they call a production. And then you get more into the TJ Fisher, and you're in that 2,000 range for this. Again, custom, big name. You're kind of paying some for the branding, maybe. The Fisher name. And it is a much larger than these other two. But, I don't know. All three great knives. Put these off to the side because really we're talking about the Shirogorov. Just fantastic. They also make a pen that matched this that Alex did not get. And the pen includes the takedown tool. And he will buy a takedown tool when it's time to take this apart. I don't know what time that is. I don't know why you need to take it apart if it gets really gunk up. I am not a big, you got to take every single knife you own apart. But if you're going to take apart something with more of a proprietary pivot, I would buy the tool. Could you do this with a flathead? Sure. Could you totally screw it up with a flathead? Sure. I'm not willing. I wouldn't take those chances. I would just buy the tool. Yeah, so it's $300, $250. Does it suck? Sure. But first world problems. If you're going to carry a $1,000 knife, $1,200 knife, you're going to have other accoutrements are going to cost. If it's just the cost of getting into this level of a knife if you're going to take it apart. So, anyway, I think the Shirogorovs are fantastic. Alex is going to send me a couple of more in the future. I need to do one more video, and then I can send these back to him, and then he'll send me some more, and we'll trade back and forth, and whatnot. But because that's just how it goes. So, thanks for watching. Please go check out Alex's channel because I would greatly appreciate it. If I can help to build his channel some by him loaning me some knives, then I'm glad to do that. And I think that, that's the least I can do for his amazing generosity by putting 3 high-end knives in a box and shipping them to me in today's world with the shipping fiasco that we have around Christmas right now. So, anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Go check out Alex. Have yourselves a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, guys.